So a few people have already started joining in. ठीक है, we have a few people. I think more people will keep on coming in as we go along. First of all, thank you everyone who have already joined, and a very good evening to everyone. Today's session, as you all know, is going to be on a data analyst prep session. So, if you're preparing for a role in data analyst analysis and you're a fresher, so this session is going to guide you on how you want to or how you can proceed. So, we will probably discuss a few of the points, like what are the skills required for a data analyst, how do you build a good profile to begin your career, then what are the concepts, questions which are relevant for interviews, and also some resources, maybe some resources and online courses, or maybe some tutorials that you can refer to when you are preparing. So for the same, we have Shaswat Patil, who will speak on this topic today. He's currently a senior data analyst, and he has about 7 years of experience. He has also previously worked with companies like Genpact. And before we proceed, just to remind you all that if you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A box. The Q&A box that you can see. Please avoid putting it in the chat window because sometimes it gets lost. And after the presentation is over, we will take up your questions regarding the topic. So, without any further delay, Shaswat, please begin.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Shashwat Patil, and I'm currently working as a senior data analyst for the programmatic company. And previously, I worked for Genpact as a research analyst for 5 years. Coming to my education, I completed my engineering in electronics and communication from Acharya Institute of Technology. Post that, I completed my master's in MBA, Business Administration in Marketing. So yeah, and today I'll be walking you through the how to prepare like for the data analyst interviews, few tips and what are things that are being asked in the interviews, how you can prepare for the interviews and all other things. Okay, and so and first question is who can become a data analyst? So anyone who have basic knowledge of mathematics, statistics, or probability, even with the knowledge of the even for the 10th standard, that would suffice. And a lot of enthusiasm to begin with, and also who is also undergraduate or postgraduate from any of the discipline. It could be finance, it could be even for the medical engineering, finance, uh, and any sorts of like BSc, MSc, and all sorts of discipline, they can also become a data analyst. So for the beginner, what are the skills that will help you become a data analyst? So I kind of divided the skills as hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are the one where you need to be practicing regularly, be hands-on all the time to gain those skills. Whereas soft skills are the one those where you will where you will improve always when you start practicing or again when you start working on some domain or any of the projects. So coming to the hard skills, the first and major skill that every data analyst need to have is the structured query language. As you know, with the increase in the uh, data storages, there is a lot of data that is available uh, right now through the servers and all. So in order for a data analyst to work upon the data analyst, a data analyst need to know how to pull the data from the servers, how to clean the data even before the analyzing the data. So the first thing every data analyst need to know is the structure query language. So once you have retrieved the data, the next comes is the cleaning, data manipulation. And there are like few tools here, like the famous one is Python, R, PySpark, and even if you are a complete beginner, you can even start with the Microsoft Excel. So right now, once you started working on the data, you got the insights out of the data, and once you have the insights, the third part is how you're putting the data, how you're telling the insights to other person or the end clients. So there you need to have data visualization. Data visualization is more like art of storytelling, how you are putting the data, connecting the dots, and how well you're telling the story. And there are few again tools for the data visualization where you can learn as Tableau, Power BI, Looker, Quicker, and in Power BI or Tableau where you can build dashboards uh, uh, to the end clients where they can assess like what are the business KPIs. So all of sort of things you can do using data visualization tools. Coming to next, so the other part is about the soft skills. So you need to have a problem solving attitude, like uh, whenever you come across any sort of data. So always you need to be asking the first and foremost question, what I'm trying to solve, like what business problem I'm trying to solve, or what is the end goal. So it starts with the uh, problem solving. So before that, you need to be asking the right questions. And coming to the other skill is this is the most underrated skill, storytelling. So it's not just you are just analyzing the data. It also counts how you're telling the story or how you're putting up the data. And writing and communication. So you got to be really clear with the communication, the nuances about the different kinds of data and what you're trying to say. The fourth thing is the domain knowledge. So this is something where you'll acquire the skill when you start working on any kind of domain. So previously, when I was working in Genpact, so I worked in the consumer packs groups vertical, and now my domain shifted to programmatic marketing. So what I could say is that you can start step by step on the domain knowledge, but once you start working it, you will understand the in and out of like of the business. Yeah. So again, the another skill is attention to detail. Is not necessary that you need to have attention to detail, but when you start working on like all of these sort of things, so you'll have uh, you will kind of, I mean, you'll start giving attention to details. So and the last one is critical or analytical thinking. So this is the skill that needs the most for a data analyst. So the problems are really complex these days. So you need to have a clear picture of the problem and what all other things that are available to you. And it's also the analytical thinking. It's kind of a systematical process where for you you can acquire for each of the domain where they have also the standard operating procedures and all the best practices. So you can, well, once you start working on it, you'll just kind of understand what needs to be done. And even all of these skills, uh, I would say, especially the critical or analytical thinking that comes based on the different problems you have worked on. The more the problems you have worked on, the more the business problems you have solved, it's better. You will have, you need to explore a lot. And basically, the thing is, it could be improving a process or current process, or it could be a something new, building something new. So all of these you'll be able to, like, once you start improving the analytical thinking. Okay. So once you got to know like what all skills uh, once you know what all skills you have acquired or you started learning those skills, so how to start as a data analyst career. So first and foremost, learn the fundamentals. uh, I could break down into two things. The one is the mathematics, probability, statistics. uh, the other thing is the coding part. I think it could be Python. Python is the easiest of the all, where you have few libraries like NumPy, Pandas, where you can, like, which are also user friendly, and lot other libraries that will help you like understand, uh, that will help you uh, learn. So that's what I could say on this. Coming to next, so once you learned all the hard and soft skills, so it's now time to build end-to-end projects where that can be presented to some interviewer, or where something tangible that can be showcased towards to a interviewer. So while building the projects, what you can do is you can go for you can use Kaggle data sets of your interest or domain. They are like hundreds, thousands of data sets where you can build your own projects. And once you build your project, you need to showcase your project. You can post it within the Kaggle, or you can also post it on the blogs like medium.com, and you can also write about it. So coming to technical concepts and questions relevant for the interviews, I would say if I was a data analyst, I will start with SQL, with the data definition language, data query language, or data manipulative language. And within the SQL, like the one of the most important thing is you need to learn sequence of operations once you get familiar with the DDL, DQL, and DML. Coming to that, uh, then after that you need to learn how you are joining two different data sets, like how you are joining inner data sets, like what are the different kinds of joins: inner join, left join, right join, anti join, or self join, and etc. So there's another. This is kind of the third part is kind of a little bit kind of advanced, but nevertheless, it will definitely help you in your by cracking the SQL coding questions, like what are the partition by ranking or aggregation functions. So once you learn with the SQL, you can uh, the next step will be the Python. So uh, Python, the fundamental things are the you can learn is the different data types and other programmatic fundamentals like if loop, for loop. Uh, Once you done with the data types, you can start with the pandas, numpy, and plotly. The pandas libraries, especially uh, for the data analysis, and numpy is especially when you want to do into kind of into a machine learning and other, like this will be the basis for the machine learning or AI or building ML models. Plotly is again something you can play with for the uh, data representation. So these are the other, like if I was a beginner, I would just start with these three libraries. So the other thing is the probability and statistics, though we don't give much importance on probability, mathematics, or stats. So uh, whatever importance you're giving to the SQL and Python, you need to be giving the same importance for the stats, probability, and mathematics. Uh, the only thing is you just need to understand the mathematic or logic behind how it works. And most of the, I mean to say, the kind of a complex uh, concepts and all, we do have keywords like if you look into pandas or numpy, like let's just say you want to do some kind of a function. Let's just say you want to, let's just say, find out a nth percentile where we have a keyword within the numpy and pandas library where you can use those and get it. So what I would say is just you can just need to know what exactly the concepts mean. Then you can directly, uh, once you get familiar with the any of the, I mean to say, libraries, so you can, that will be easy to get the results or get the analysis. So the last part is about the storytelling or data visualization. So you need to be learning again Tableau, either Tableau or Power BI, and where you can create a dashboard, like a simple dashboard showcasing that you know how to build dashboards or you know how to represent the data. So uh, what happens is when you start learning these things, uh, I mean, there is kind of lot to cover, I would say. I mean, so what you can do is you can start with SQL and Python, and I'm assuming probability and statistics, you'll be already having at least idea in your 12th, 10th, or even in the engineering or bachelor's. So what I would say is you can just learn all these parallelly, and at the end you can pick up the Tableau and Power BI, because all the concepts which you have learned in the SQL, like group by aggregation functions, it will be just the same there. So Tableau, I would prefer more of a Tableau, uh, because it's just the drag and drop. So yeah. And when I was preparing for a data analyst interview, these were the my go-to resources. Like for SQL and Python, I used W3 schools. It's kind of a plain English. For any, let's just say, function, they just explain it with 2 to 3 words with all the examples. So uh, for the coding practice, so this is the most important thing where it will take a lot of, you need to be spending a lot of time, is at the hacker rank or lead code. So uh, they have set of questions where it will replicate just as in the how the interviews is going to present you the SQL questions or Python programming questions. So you can use either hacker rank or lead code. The even these websites that design really good way where they do have a, you can keep a timer, and you can also evaluate across all the other answers, like let's just say, especially in the lead code, what you can do is you can go and practice for the Python programming uh, skills. And what it will give is it will give you the your performance against all the participants who have worked solved the problem. So it will also give you the statistics. How good is your code? Is your code optimized, or does it took a lot of time? And even you can compare those. So for the blogs or like concepts and all, you can also use medium.com or KD Nuggets for all of the basic data analysis or machine learning concepts. Yeah. And this is a walkthrough for all the beginners, I would say.
Hello.
Yes.
Acha, I thought you were through with the session. Will you be sharing further, or should I just start with the questions?
I think I like more of a Q&A. So now, yeah.
Okay. Acha, so actually we have just one question that is a bit unclear. Pragya has asked which type of sources I can use for this particular course. So if you could just rephrase it and be a little more specific, then probably we can help you out, Pragya. And rest, we would take a few questions that were shared at the time of registration. Um, they were pretty, I mean, some of them were pretty interesting, and I hope that they can cater to some of the doubts that people might be having here. So, one question that came up is, what is the roadmap for being a data analyst? Like, is there a career roadmap or something that one should know before starting out?
Uh, there right now a lot of jobs are like they need analysts. I think the roadmap is kind of pretty much simple. Like anyone with who's having knowledge in mathematics or statistics or probability, and they know a little bit of coding. I would say not much of that. A little bit of coding, and they can understand they can understand a bit of numbers and all, and they are good to set. And uh, this was just the beginner, like who is like entering into a data analyst. And for those who are engineers, like they are coming from computer science background, they already know the coding and all. So what they can do is much of the things they have already learned during their engineering. So they can go with the kind of little bit advanced way. We can try machine learning concepts, building the machine learning models and other things. Uh, but I think it's there is not much of a roadmap. I would say it's a combination of the soft skills and hard skills that I just presented. So those will be it's good to suffice. And other thing is that my suggestion is like work as many projects as possible. Pick a project from the Kaggle. A lot of them have worked on different kinds of Kaggle. Usually have a competition. So what anyone can do is go there. You can look at others people work and get they can start learning.
Okay. Another question, key points. What are the key points that one needs to mention in the resume so that it gets shortlisted by recruiters?
Yeah. So everything data analyst, what I used was most of the libraries from Python. I used to add that. Uh, then, of course, SQL and Tableau, like one Tableau or either Power BI. And yeah, that should be good to go. But foremost thing, wherever you go as a data analyst, SQL is a must. So maybe few keywords from the SQL that will help, and also to they can also add the portfolio of projects. So that will be even like the resume with the projects will have a higher chance to getting picked.
Hmm, okay. One new question has come in. Anuj asks, I'm a non-technical graduate and currently a business analyst with the knowledge of APIs. Is data analyst a profile that I can go for or not?
Anuj, yeah, definitely you can definitely go for a data analyst role. And being a API, there is a lot of, I mean, opportunity for who is working on APIs, web scraping, and even right now, there's a part of work where I do. They also requires working on APIs. So yeah, there is a lot of scope in that.
Hmm,
So if
okay.
anyone can work
Hmm,
an API, and definitely they know how to work on the Python SQL. So, yeah.
okay. I'm sure other people also have questions. If you can just drop in, I mean, you can get your queries resolved here. One more question that was there by registered participants was that what are the best resources one can choose to learn Python language for data analysis?
Uh, Best resources, I would say, like you can use medium.com. There is a lot of blogs there where you can go and just check for any of the problems you're having, and you can start uh, you can start from that. Uh, just before that, Niharika, like, do Shiksha have any of the courses for the
For Python
data,
language.
yeah, data analyst or
So I think if you go to Shiksha Online's website, you will find something into Python. There's a section for technology programming, and then you go to programming, and there's a whole bunch of courses for Python language. So I can share the link for the same in the chat window. You can pick it up from there. So I've just shared the link. You can also go to Shiksha Online and get suggestions for courses in Python. Um, okay, there is another question that says, I'm from a biology background. How do I start to learn coding?
uh, coding. Uh, I think you can. There are like a lot of. I think you can start with the hacker rank, or there are a lot of. I would say just by googling, you'll get to know like kind of a simpler version of Python where uh, you just have a notebook and a lot of things have been automated. So you just need to they have just made it simplifier. So what you need to do is even if you are from a biology background, the bare minimum I would say is learn the data types. I think the one is the pandas library and the other is the numpy. I think those two will like enough to start or get a hang of it. I would say.
Okay, we have a few more questions that have come in. Uh, so Divya asks that she's on a career break. So this person is a career break candidate for the past 3 years. Previously, I worked as a software engineer in QA, quality assurance, for nearly 2 years. Now, I have updated my certification in data science, and there is a complete change in domain. So, does this person need to mention their previous experience in their resume and mention its professional summary if they want to go into data science and data analysis?
They can mention all those points what they have worked, and also the kind of they can put it what skills that will be helpful as a data analyst whatever they have. I mean, if they are a QA engineer, they know how to code it, so they can highlight more of the coding part which will be helpful for a data analyst role or data scientist.
Okay. There is another question. Okay. I am first PUC. How can I go further with these things? Maybe this person is asking how they can go further with a career in data analysis, and this person is pursuing PCB and data entry operations. Maybe they are doing some work in data entry. What all courses can I find for degrees, and what can be the certification courses that can be helpful in this field? So I think this person might be looking for some courses in for colleges, like if they want to get an admission in a college in data analysis. Are there any like degree courses in data analysis that happens?
Yeah, I think there is a what I got to know, I think it's not in near my place in Bangalore, and somewhere like there are colleges in Coimbatore where they have integrated course for data analysis. Like it's a 5 year course where they can complete their engineering and their masters in data science. Like it's a 5 years integrated course, and that is one thing. Other thing is that uh, this is this is for the everyone. What I can say is uh, the coming to the journey of a data analyst is I would say a bit long than what we anticipate. So what I would suggest is uh, join some of any of the data science community or data analyst community. So I was part of a Jovian community where it was a 6 months course and all. So I learned a lot of things from there, and from there I made a switch from research analyst to a data analyst. So I would say like uh, it's kind of a I would say not a one man show or alone this thing. So find a community, I would say, and I'm not sure if Shiksha has something like this apart from the online courses. So
There's actually one can go and find search for courses on shiksha.com as well. So shiksha.com is basically it helps school students, college students to find courses and what is the education path they can take up further. So yeah,
okay,
you can just go to shiksha.com and check out the website as well. So yeah, so that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much to all the attendees. I am so just before we end, I am quickly launching a feedback poll that that will just ask you two very simple questions. One is is the session helpful for you, and would you recommend it to any of your friends? So we just sort of collect this feedback to understand if the session is going good, and if these topics are working out, and then we can get ideas for further sessions as well. Thank you so much, Shaswat, for coming on board and speaking on the topic. There were quite a few questions as well. I'm sure that they got help in getting their queries resolved. So thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome.
Just quickly, yeah, quickly end the poll as well. Thank you so much for the responses.